Look at the starters for the Philadelphia 76ers. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. James is out there with Joel Embiid. And it's Brown in at the 3 slot. Now, here is James. Shoots over Tatum. Queta pulls it in. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
I was able to talk to Joe Mazzulla for a minute. Coach knows that Joel Embiid is going to get his fair share of trips to the line, and he told me that's a part of his game, and he's great at it. If he can bait us into contact and still find a way to get a shot up, it's going to take a very disciplined approach from us tonight on Joel. We'll see if they're up for the task. Back to you.
And Allie, thank you for that. Sinks the tray.
You know, Derek White is what you call a combo guard. He can play on or off the ball. There we saw his passing ability.
George outside. Pritchard surviving the D. There's Tatum with the 3. It's hauled in by the Sixers. This is their first chance this season playing Boston. There's no question. Peyton Pritchard has one of the best value contracts in the league.
Sure does, B.A. He's on a 4-year, $30 million deal, signed back in 2023. He's a tireless worker, a talented scorer, playmaker, and, of course, outside shooter.
Tatum gets the bucket.
Well, Tatum is rightfully as confident as they come from deep. He saw that look and didn't waste it.
Pass to Brown. James, a screen on George. Here's Brown. An easy 2 on the layup.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. Tatum against James. Oh, he missed that one. 1 for 3 in this one so far. White, the pass to Tatum. Off target from outside.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Maxey, that's good.
Oh, a high motor in close to the rim. Maxey finding a window and converting.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. So Boston ends up going with a new group. And while we have a break, here were some of the top free throw shooters in the game last season. 5th, Anthony Simons.
Very steady at the line. He's a guy who isn't rattled easily, and that shows in his free throw shooting numbers.
1:09 left in the first quarter. Garza passes to Robinson. Gonzalez. Again, the miss by Boston. The 76ers have gone 4 of 6 in the first quarter. Pass to Brown. And that one good. Brown's got his second basket.
Look, Brown's a great athlete. I love to see him work inside.
Maxey against Conley. Here's Gonzalez. Shot clock at 5. Robinson passes to Gonzalez. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
He just rises up and throws it down hard with one hand.
That is such a go-to move for him. He holds nothing back on those. Pass to Simons. It's Brown on the wing, defended by Hauser. There's the steal. Fires from way outside. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. Tie game in Boston. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. All right, guys, what do you think about the Celtics here in this one?
Well, I'll tell you what, throughout the first, they did a great job of just running their offense.
Yeah, and I love to see this kind of communication between teammates. Great player movement, great ball movement.
We've got Mitchell Robinson, George out there with Mike Conley, and it's Garza in at the power forward position. That's the Boston 5. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Brian. Well, LeBron is keeping it going. He said, I appreciate these young guys coming up in the ranks and doing great things. I hope to have inspired them to carry it on when I decide that I'm done and keep this beautiful game going. Not just the league, but the purity of the game. That is what's most important. Brian? He's
left an imprint, no question. Thanks a lot, Allie. Boston with the ball. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. George passes to Conley. Here's Garza. Pass to George. Shot is up. The shot by Conley, no good.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
Well, Stan, Joe Mazzulla is a young head coach taking over on the Celtics bench in 2022.
Well, B.A., he's got a rare intensity about him. Certainly not afraid to think outside the box, and obviously the results speak for themselves.
Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Garza. All right, let's use this time to check out the teams with the most steals last year. Fifth on the list, the 76ers.
And this is a team that takes great pride in being aggressive on the defensive end. They take good risk and know when to go after opportunities for steals.
Tatum against James. Here's Robinson. Pass to George. Shoots over Brown. Again, the miss by Boston. Philadelphia leading by 4. It's Brown on the wing. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. James inside. Tatum's there. And that one's good. James. Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Well, looking at the Eastern Conference this season, as much uncertainty as I can remember with regard to the pecking order. With injuries shifting the balance of power, things very much up in the air. And there's some up-and-coming teams seeming to sense an opportunity to make their move.
Something to watch. All right, Shams, thanks for the report. Pass to James. Here's Edgecombe. Fires from deep. Tatum pulls it in. George outside. And here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Gonzalez passes to Tatum. From downtown, Jaylen Brown with a rebound.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Here's James. Doing what he does. LeBron.
Their defense just falls apart once the ball goes inside.
And so it's Tatum who brings up the ball for Boston. They trail by 6. Wasted no time with that shot, but it's off the mark. Here's James. Simons outside. 4-3. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Well, don't blink, or Simons will already have the shot off.
The Celtics have gone 1 for 6 in the second quarter. Not great. Simons against Conley. Outside Tatum. Rebound by Philadelphia.
That's their plan, to get him an opportunity to finish in tight. That's a miss they can live with.
Stolen by Conley. And so it's Philadelphia. They have a nice 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. Great team defense on Paul George. They're limiting what PG is doing out there. All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Joel, some fireworks early. What's going to be critical to keeping it rolling?
Just keep moving the ball, get stops, and I think the kids just moving the ball, playing together. We've been doing that, and we got some hot guys, and we got to keep feeding them.
Ball movement is key, guys.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. We will see everyone right back after this break, ready for the second half.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule. What do you make of these future games, fellas?
Why are you always talking about the future, Ernie? Live in the present.
Yeah, you really need to practice mindfulness, Ernest.
Jeez, I'm just trying to do my job. They put these games up on the screen. I thought we should talk about them. Excuse me. And returning our attention to this game, an impressive first half for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Seems like they can't miss. Just rolling offensively, getting whatever they want.
You haven't heard this in a while, fellas. SLN, Shaq-like numbers. When you're doing that, it means dominance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thanks for tuning in. Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining in, one half is in the books, one half to go. You got to like what we're seeing from LeBron James.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
The Sixers lead by 9. Second half underway. Here's who Nick Nurse has got on the floor. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Jaylen Brown is out there with James. And it's Embiid in at the center position. To the inside. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
Well, if you're going to let him get that close to the rim, that's what's going to happen. Leaving no room for error with the slam.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Hey guys, the Celtics trying to keep that laser focus. Coach Joe Mazzulla said, quote, the closer you are to winning, the easier it is to become distracted by things that you can't control. Things that don't matter. Mindset, discipline, and mental toughness are what separate you. Brian, back to you.
Staying dialed in. Allie, thanks very much for the report. James inside. George defending. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Maxey, here we go. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
While Maxey is an elite shooter, Tyrese is at his best using his speed, going downhill.
Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls the timeout. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. On defense, Philadelphia kicks it to George. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Edgecombe.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well. Oh, excellent way to pad the lead.
Yeah, especially when it's your one throwing it down like that.
It shows you're able to attack the rim from any position.
Queta, pass to George. Just 5 to shoot. No good from 18.
They've had a quiet start to this half, hitting just one of their first 4 attempts.
Well, Grant, if you had to say, is there anything you think is underrated about Embiid?
You know, B.A., I think it's his intelligence. Joel's a heady player. Sometimes big men don't get enough credit for their smarts on the court. Embiid knows the game.
Well, deep into the game, his team is lagging, and he's been unable to help. Brutal performance from him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. LeBron is in attack mode tonight. He's looking to score every time he touches the ball.
There's a minute 26 left in the third. Outside White. And he dunks it down.
Good heads-up basketball. Sees an opening and capitalizes.
James against Tatum. Outside, Brown. Up top, Maxey. Philadelphia moving it around. Brown with a screen. LeBron without hesitation. Boston pulls it in. They're doing what they can do to mount a comeback.
And B.A., they don't have to get it all back at once. Just focus on making every possession count.
Brown against George. Will not go. Misses off the front iron. For Philadelphia, they've gotten 4 of 7 shots to drop in the third. James finds Brown. For 3, Maxey. And Pritchard pulls it down. And so it's Pritchard who brings up the ball for the Boston Celtics. Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. Back to George. Pass to Tatum. Look at Tatum using his length.
Well, the defense can't lose track of him. He's just too talented offensively.
The 3 from Edgecombe. He can't get it to go. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers. They lead by 11 as the quarter comes to a close. Great shot selection right now, keeping the game simple and getting high percentage looks. We'll be right back after this word. And a moment now as we take a look at our state. Farm assist of the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his teammates.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. We've got Paul George. Mitchell Robinson is out there with Mike Conley. And it's Gonzalez in at the shooting guard. That's the Boston 5. Here's George. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
The vertical of Simons getting all the way up to the rim.
Celtics trail by 13. Outside Robinson. Philadelphia grabs the miss. Here's Edgecombe. Pass to Brown. Lets it go from deep. Pure from three-point range. And the 76ers lead by 16.
Well, when you're as polished and practiced a shooter as Brown, there's no reason to hesitate.
We played just over a minute here in the fourth. Here's Conley. 6 on the shot clock. Fires the 3. Oh, he cannot hit. The Sixers lead by 16. Jams it home!
And it hasn't just been their stellar offense. Their defense has been effective as well.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. No doubt he's going to utilize the opportunity to make sure they're all on the same page here.
Here they come from the entertainment.
for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Bona. James comes in for Wade. And it's Maxey in for Simons. Here's Pritchard. Oh, and just miss after miss right now. Brown inside, defended by Pritchard. And Maxey, the bucket, on the assist from Brown. And the 76ers lead by 20. For Boston, they've got none of their shots to go in this final quarter. 0 for 4. George for 3. Again, the miss by Boston.
His shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
The versatility of James remains so impressive. He does so many things so well.
Grant, LeBron has had so much recognition over the years, but truly, he might not get enough credit for what he's meant to the NBA.
Yeah, you might be right, B.A. Truly a global ambassador for the game of basketball. He set the standard for what a superstar can be, really, in any sport.
That free throw, good from James. And with top college players now getting big money NIL deals, the choice between that and entering the NBA draft has become a tough one, Stan.
Absolutely, B.A. Look, I think it's been great for both the NBA and for the colleges for guys to stick around, because the top guys are still going to come out. The guys who are going to be your top 10 picks, your lottery guys, they're going to come out. But the other guys who have nothing as guaranteed, they're going to choose to stay longer and develop.
Back to Maxey. Just 5 on the clock. Jacks up a 3. James can't get it to go. And so it's Conley who brings up the ball for Boston. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the 76ers.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
And against a familiar opponent, it's nice to establish a psychological advantage with a win in the first game.
We've come to expect big-time games from him. Just another day at the office for Jaylen Brown.
And he found a way to leave his mark on every facet of the game. His activity and energy were huge factors.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Tatum. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist.
And guys, it's no easy task defending Tatum inside. You can body him up, bump him, he'll still find a way.
From outside the arc, and Walker with the 3.
This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Now here's Pritchard. So no problem for Philadelphia as they get the win to walk into enemy territory and deliver a performance.
LeBron.
All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. And that'll do it for this inaugural game of the NBA.